It's a Friday afternoon, a very cold day. Yeah, very cold day. Friday of winter. Actually, it is winter. So today I want to share briefly, like I promised, on expectations. Expectations in a relationship. What do they mean? What kind of expectations should you have? And obvious expectations. We're talking about expectations towards yourself, towards your partner. And those expectations are what would inform and make up the relationship and what it's supposed to be. And they're going to, believe it or not, in a great way, determine if you are happy in a relationship or you are not happy. So we all enter relationships having expectations. Whether it's expectations of yourself, it's expectations of that person. And one common expectation that we all have is an expectation that this person is going to love you and that this person is going to be honest, faithful to you, that this is somebody that you can trust, and this is somebody that you can depend on, somebody that you can rely on a lot of things. Now, some of these expectations are unrealistic, obvious, and some of them are realistic, however, they are not, communicated well. Some are not communicated at all. So there are a lot of dynamics when it comes to expectation and administration of them in a relationship. Now, in a healthy relationship, and if you want to have a healthy relationship, it is good to have expectations. It's healthy. There's nothing wrong with having expectations. No expectations, though, for your partner. Okay, so don't expect anything much of your partner. Expectations, they should be on yourself. You should have your own expectations based on the standards that you want to uphold, and that's what will inform the expectations you would have of your partner. So what you expect of your partner should be based on the standards that you have. Your standards, which will inform a lot of things, obvious. Will it inform how you want to be treated and how you want to treat your partner? And these standards, they should be around your values, around the matters of respect, around the matters of affection, how you want affection to be administered in this relationship. They should be around the issues of intimacy. They should be around issues of time that you spend together as a couple, all right? So you need to be clear on this. And what I've picked up over the years, when I meet couples and I sit down, we're talking, and I hear a lot of, I thought he or she knew. So there's a lot of assumption just because I opened a door for you once, okay? For whatever reason, maybe Cliff was good that day or a day before and I was still excited. The hormones were just doing other things and I decided to open a door for you. And when now I'm not opening the door, then it becomes a bit of a problem. Okay, so there are certain standards that we need to communicate to our partners. That informs in terms of the expectation. So if I give you my standards, okay, so I'm expecting highly of myself and the standards that I have, but I'm expecting less, of my partner. Okay, being in a healthy relationship means a lot of things. Okay, but one of the main things that it should always mean to you, it should mean that your needs are met. You are getting your needs met and your needs are fulfilled, and they are fulfilled by the person that you love, by the person that you trust, by the person that you have given your life to, by the person that you are entrusting your life with. Okay, so you need to make sure that your needs that you have, your partner needs to know exactly why are you in a relationship with them. That will help a lot. Why are you in a relationship with me, so that I can be able to determine if I can meet those needs and those expectations or not. Some of us, we start now realizing we have expectations, we have needs. When we are deep in relationships, there are kids already, we are emotionally involved, we are spiritually involved, and we are just like way deep in it. And we realize, oh, by the way, I have this and that and that. And sometimes it's a bit too late, but it's never too late to reteach your partner about how you want to be treated and how you want to have things done for you and with you. Okay. So have high standards and less expectations of your partner, but high expectations from your partner. Okay. Now, this is the English part that is I'm going to repeat that part. Okay. You need to have high standards, meaning that your standards, the ones that I've mentioned, values, respect, affection, intimacy, time together, etc. You need to have high standards and have less expectations of your partner, but have high expectations from them. So in other words, what I mean by that is, I'm saying my partner is human, and as a result, she can falter. She can be able to commit mistakes. She can make errors here and there. Okay. That is on them. But when it comes to them treating me, I have high expectations. So the expectations will be based on my standards, but I need to teach them on how to meet those standards for me. Okay. You cannot just assume that just because this person has got 32 teeth and now he's able to meet your expectations in the manner in which you want them to be met. Remember, you could have high expectations of intimacy, high expectations of time spent together, but if I grew up, because my background has a lot to do with how I will administer the expectations that you have. If I grew up in a household where spending time together is only during generations, everyone in the family is there, we're sitting, watching generations, after that we do our own things, that's what you might get. But to somebody else, spending time together is you spending the whole evening with me. To somebody else, spending time together would be you, okay, sitting on the couch, cuddling. Or to the another person, it could be, well, I'm home. I've been home the whole day, but I was in the other room doing up and down. We just see each other in the corridor and so forth. But to somebody else, spending time together could be sitting down, no phones, no none. So you need to be able to be clear, very clear on your expectations when it comes to the standards that you uphold. Okay. Now, you need to know yourself very well in order for you to come to a point where you're saying, these are my standards. You need to know your partner very well in order for you to be at peace with what they are capable of offering, what they can offer, and what they cannot offer. So that has to start with you. You need to know and say, this is my ceiling, this is my bottom. I don't go below this. And even above this, I cannot go because this is what I'm capable of. Now, if you do that exercise with yourself, you also need to do it with your partner, understanding. Sometimes ask them, are you capable of doing this? Because I'm expecting you to kiss me every morning. Are you able to do that? And a person might say to you, you know what, there will be days where I'm really pissed off with you. I'm very angry with you, so I cannot be able to do that. Okay. Now, when expectations are not communicated, they are most likely not to be met. Highly, highly, highly possible that they will not be met if they are not communicated. You'll be sitting there with assumptions and your partner will not meet probably not even one of them. We tend to be comfortable enough just because your partner met one expectation by chance, without you telling them, and you assume they will be sniffer dogs. They will sniff and find out what else you're expecting of them. Okay. Some people, they come to me and they start complaining. No, he doesn't even help around the house. He doesn't do anything. He's just sitting on the couch. And some of them, they've never even mentioned it. Sometimes they've mentioned it out of venting out. They've mentioned it out of, just, in passing, I do things alone in this house and so forth. But you've never sat your partner down and say, listen, I actually expect you to help around the house. I'm not your maid. I'm not your garden boy or whatever. You need to be clear and say, this is what I'm expecting. And you need to get your partner to say if they can meet that expectation or not. Because if the expectations are not met, communicated or not, resentment starts, anger starts, disappointment starts, and you start now losing temper, you start losing respect for each other, you start now treating each other as cold as possible. Never expect things out of your partner, things that you yourself, you are not capable and not able to give to yourself. Okay. Don't expect things that you can, because you will be disappointed. The fact that you cannot, achieve those things yourself, it means that there is a likelihood that your partner might not be able to do it. It's always nice to model your expectations based on what you are able to give yourself. If you expect me to buy you a Mercedes-Benz, drive one first, so that by the time I commit to you knowing that, this person is driving a Mercedes-Benz. So it means that for me, it automatically now it becomes an expectation, even if it's not communicated, that in an event where I change the car, this is the level that I'm in. You cannot be driving Equidi and then the next thing you have an expectation that somebody else will buy you a Range Rover. Haibo, Satan. Okay. So what you expect should be what you can give yourself without it being an expectation to the other person. So in other words, if I expect my partner to speak to me with respect, I need to be able to speak to my partner with respect without them saying that they need respect from me. So in other words, what Pastor X is saying, he is saying you need to model the expectations. One way of communicating your expectations by modeling them. If you want your partner to be able to be intimate with you, you need to be intimate with them. And then I get to learn and say, okay, fine, this is how my partner is expecting things. This is how they like it. Just like dishing up, okay? Dishing up, for instance, I love my food. If, let's say, I'll make an example, my favorite meal, which is a pasta and a mince, all right? Now, if I'm having a pasta and a mince, don't put a mince here. A pasta in the middle of a plate. And then you put a mince a side in. I don't like side dishes. I want you to put my spaghetti or my pasta or whatever that I'm having, and I want you to cover it with a mince. Now for me, that is great. But somebody else might say that is untidy, it's clumsy and all that. Listen, because nonetheless, you'll put it the way you want to put it. Before I eat, I'm going to mix the whole thing up. Yes, don't mix it up, but I want my mince to be on top. So what I do is, if I want to teach my partner, I will dish up for myself and then I will dish up the way I want. Next time they will know. So that when I say to them, in future, babe, when you dish up for me, can you make sure that you put mince on top? Okay, so that it kind of like covers the pasta a little bit. So small things like those, you need to be able to model it. Don't expect things that you cannot give in return. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want us to understand is that when it comes to expectations, there are 3 C's in achieving your expectations. The first C is you need to communicate your expectations. You need to communicate those expectations, and the second C, you need to compromise. Because some of the things you'll find that, you know what, you're expecting way too much than what your person is willing, number one, to give. Number two is able to give. Number three is capable to give. Okay, so we compromise, meaning that we negotiate. We meet each other halfway. We're saying, what does these expectations mean to you? And how can they be met? And let's say if you listed 5 expectations, we're saying, okay, it's fine. Out of these 5, which ones can you be able to lessen up on them? And then the third C, you need to commit on them. You need your partner to verbally say, yes, I agree on these expectations. There are some few bad expectations that you shouldn't even be expecting of your partner because they are unrealistic. The first one is the fact that you would expect that Kloof will be just steamy every day. It doesn't happen. You will not reach orgasm every day. I don't care. There will be days where it will just be, as in, now you ask yourself, what just happened? You cannot expect that your partner will never change. Your partner will change for the good or for the worst. All right. What they are now, don't expect that they will be that the whole time. I was never having gray hair. Gray beard and gray hair. I had black everywhere. And then, I tinted blonde at some point. But see now, there's some invasions that are happening, some gray stuff that are growing, and they're just there permanently. I'm going to change in terms of behavior. I'm going to change in terms of how I look. I'm going to change in terms of how I sound. In a lot of ways, your partner will change. Never expect that your partner will meet all your needs. That is just expecting Jesus out of your partner. And that will never happen. You will be disappointed. You will be bitter. Never expect that you will always see eye to eye with your partner. It doesn't matter. Even the most perfect of partners, they disagree. The most perfect of partners, they argue. The most perfect of partners, they fight. Okay? Also, never expect that your partner will be perfect. We are work in progress. Every single day, we just either learn or unlearn certain things. Give your partner a benefit of the doubt. Unrealistic expectation that each time you fight, it's over. That is just childish. Okay, people do fight and you should fight. It's healthy to fight. But what is not healthy is fighting dirty. Fighting like it's over for real. You understand? Because now what you do is you're teaching yourselves to be nasty to each other. Into unrealistic expectation that you will never be attracted to other people. Hey, these are eyes, these are ears. You will see other people, but you need the discipline of knowing how to control, your flesh. You need to know your partner's expectations, and you need to be as transparent, open enough to be able to say, hey, baby, one of these things are not going the right way, and my eye is kind of like seeing some things on the other side. Okay, so you will be attracted to other people. Never have unrealistic expectation that problem will solve themselves. Problems don't disappear. Problems don't solve themselves. They need to be solved by you. Never have an unrealistic expectation that you can say mean things only because you are angry and justify them. And lastly, unrealistic expectation is that when you will always mess up and apologize and expect to be forgiven all the time. Or when you'll mess up and every time you will just cry foul and you'll be a victim in the whole thing. You're like, no, I did this because I did that. No. You need to be able to be accountable, and you need to be able to stand for what you believe in a respectful manner. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe on my YouTube channel, Marriage Affairs with Pastor X. And also, if you need any of the books that we have, you can be able to get those. Remember, on the 27th of June, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having our soul finding retreat. It's going to be amazing. Make sure that you sign up Don't miss out on that one. We'll be uncleaning. No, is that the right word? We'll be re-cleaning, or we'll be cleansing. English. Cleansing you inside out in terms of your spirit, all the past hurts, the things that have happened in your past that are having a lot of bearing on your current situations and your future.